We can now go over the day's events and speak to Sayed Hossein Mousavian, former ambassador of Iran to Germany, former member of the Iranian nuclear negotiating team, and currently a research scholar at the Program on Science and Global Security at Princeton University. Sayed, thank you so much for joining us. Antonio Guterres, the UN Secretary General, says that there's a trust gap as far as nuclear is concerned between Iran and the West. If you were in the negotiation room right now, how would you earn back the trust of other nations?
I think it is the world powers, Europe and the US, they should try to earn Iranian trust, because we had a deal, nuclear deal, JCPOA 2015. The world powers and Iran, they agreed. We had UN resolution, we had IAEA resolution, and Iran was in full compliance for 3 years. It was the US cheated, it was the US violated, and it was Europe which was not able to implement the nuclear deal. This is number one. That's why it is for Europe and the US in order to earn Iranian trust, because practically they killed the deal. Number two, when President Trump withdrew in the first term, in his second term, he came and he proposed Iran either accept a deal under my terms and conditions, or you will be attacked. I mean, is this diplomacy, threatening to attack the person who has killed the deal? And the second, after Israeli attack, President Trump said, Iran unconditional surrender. I mean, under such a statements and condition and behavior, what do you expect Iran should do? I mean, I really do not believe Europe and the US are after diplomacy, because I'm 100% sure Israel has coordinated the strike on Iran with the NATO, with Europe, with the US.
But Hossein, might I ask, the International Atomic Energy Agency says that since that deal collapsed, regardless of your accusations against the United States and Europe, since that deal collapsed, your uranium enrichment has gone from around 3.6% to around 60%, which is well above what is actually necessary for any kind of nuclear necessities for electricity, for example. So still, there is an onus on Iran. There is an onus on Iran to comply with international norms, regardless of the US involvement, regardless of Europe. So what kind of lead can Iran take?
First of all, Israel has attacked Iran, which is illegal, illegitimate. Second, Israel with 100 to 400 nuclear bombs is claiming, fighting, combating non-proliferation in the Middle East. Is it really true? A country with nuclear bomb is attacking a country which has no nuclear bomb? This is number one. Number two, the IAEA from 2003 to the last statement or resolution or report has clearly said there is no evidence of diversion toward weaponization in the Iranian nuclear program. Number three, Iran has given the most access compared to any other NPT member during last 23 years, the most access Iran has given to the IAEA, and there is no evidence of diversion. But coming back to your question, yes, why Iran increased enrichment below 5% under JCPOA to 60%? Because the US withdrew when Iran was in full compliance and imposed the most comprehensive sanctions. In return, Iran increased the level and capacity of its nuclear program in order to bring the US to the deal, to comply with its commitment. I mean, otherwise, Iran was enriching below 5% for 3 full years.
So that was just done out of spite? Was that just done out of spite then?
See, Iran even today is ready to stop 60%, to stop 20%, to go back to JCPOA, to go below 5% for peaceful nuclear program. I mean, Iran is ready to have the highest level of transparency, the highest level of inspection with the IAEA. Iran is ready to remove all IAEA's ambiguity, but in return, the US should be committed to respect the rights of Iran under non-proliferation treaty, which every member state of NPT is entitled to have enrichment.
But why can't Iran show leadership? Why can Iran not take the first steps and actually commit to uranium under 5% straight away?
First of all, if they're really going to, Iran is going to take the first step, who is going to guarantee that the US will take proportionate reciprocal steps? I mean, the US has violated the deal. The US has proven it cannot be trusted. There should be a deal. See, I should make it clear. Iran is ready to have the highest level of transparency, give every access to IAEA in order to remove every ambiguity. Iran is ready to stop 60%. Iran is ready to go below 5%. Iran is ready even to export 60%, the stockpile of 60% of enriched uranium in order to make sure that Iran is not after making nuclear bomb. Even Iran is ready to go to a regional consortium. But this is the US which is asking for Iran to be deprived from its right on their NPT. The US and Europe, they should respect the rights of Iran on their international rules and regulations. If they really want a deal, then Iran would go to the highest level of transparency measures. Then Iran would go to below 5%. Then Iran would export the stockpile of 60%. This is the deal.
Iran is not a saint in this. If you look at its record with human rights, it's not, we're talking about a country which has 2 French teachers held hostage currently. Why should the world believe in Iranian transparency?
See, frankly speaking, I don't believe Europe after Israeli war on Gaza, when 60,000 Palestinians, they were killed, 30,000 women and children, they were killed, and Europe did not impose single sanctions against Israel and fully supported Israel. I don't believe Europe is in position to claim about human rights. The European claim on human rights is over. Nobody would believe US and Europe is really serious for human rights, because the best reason and document and evidence is what happened in Gaza. 2.5 million people, they were displaced. Gaza was destroyed to level completely. Hospitals, schools, everything. And the US, what did the US? The US continued to support Israel even up to today.
Well, you talk about hospitals being struck. I'll just remind our viewers that an Iranian missile did strike an Israeli hospital as well. On that note, do you think that anything productive can actually come from talks with the Europeans there, with your foreign minister?
Why you do not mention Israel attacked 5 Iranian hospitals? Why you do not mention Israel has killed over 400 Iranian civilians? I mean, why you only are talking about one hospital has been damaged, but nobody is discussing Israel has destroyed 5 attacked 5 Iranian hospitals. However, I think diplomacy is the only way to go. I think if Europeans are really serious, of course, I'm afraid Europeans, they have no authority in the absence of US, because they have to get every permission from the US. However, if they have permission from the US, and if they are really ready to respect rules, regulations, international rules and regulations, which is NPT, Iran would be ready to make a deal based on NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty. And as I said, the first issue is about transparency measures, about IAEA questions, about IAEA ambiguities. If Iran accepts to implement additional protocol, it is the highest level of transparency measures. Every ambiguity would be resolved. Iran is ready for that. Number 2, the question is about the 60% enrichment, the level of 60%. Iran is ready to go back to below 5%. Number 3, The question is about the Iranian stockpile, 400 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium, which is enough for making 10 nuclear bombs. Iran is ready to export the 400 kilograms or to dilute. Therefore, all three major issues can be resolved through diplomacy.
So diplomacy is key. Hossein, my apologies. We have to end it right there. We have run out of time. Hossein Mousavian, former Iranian ambassador to Berlin, was also a former member of the Iranian nuclear negotiating team. He joined us here on the World Roundup show.